And we're live. If it would actually, make me look prim and proper. And we're live, people. Deluded. I'm back again. Shout out to you lot on whatever platform you're viewing from. Smash the like button, subscribe, do all of those good things, and appreciative to have you lot back. Now, I hope the weekend's been great. Hope the international break's been great. Hope this weekend for Arsenal's amazing. And I hope you're all having a great Monday morning. Now, unfortunately, it's been confirmed. Martin Ødegaard, our captain, is out until mid-November. Berta and Arsenal have been linked with a number of young players. And yeah, we're here in it, people. So yeah, man. And now we're getting back into the full swings. Now let's hope of things. Let's hope everybody that is playing for their country from first team level down to under 18s level returns back to London Coley in fit and healthy shape. What a goal Saka scored the other day for England. Hopefully he scores again. Rice captained England and he's bossing it. And we just hope everybody stays fit, man. Again, we all know the fixtures that are coming now. The games are going to come thick and fast. Within just over a month, we've got Fulham away, which on paper, yeah, that's probably not going to be the most sold out Arsenal game. We've got Atletico to come, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, etc. But, we did well against Newcastle. We did well against West Ham too. Not, would you say bogey teams probably in recent years, but teams we kind of struggle against. So hopefully we put our best foot forward against Fulham. We're going to have to box smart. We've obviously got the League Cup game against Brighton coming up and things of that ilk as well. So there's no rest for the wicked, man. As Mafia Boss has said, big him up, big up my moderators, smash the like button, people. Sadiq, come on, my guy. So yeah, man, all I can say is I hope Odegaard gets well and safe. I think I released a short. This is why you've got depth. It's unfortunate. I would rather everybody stay fit and we're having those conversations about who's in the starting 11, who's in the match day squad, matter of fact. But we saw last season, we've seen for seasons what one injury or 20 million injuries can do. So we've never been more equipped to cope with these things. Now, again, it provides more of an opportunity for Eze, potentially Wanyeri. Don't give Mikel Arteta any ideas about putting Marino back in there, but we can get on with it. And it's annoying, man, because we are going to need Kai Havertz, Martin Ødegaard, Noni Madueke, who was in a decent little patch of form himself. Gabriel Jesus, a long-term absentee. Ben White, in my opinion, is actually struggling. We actually don't know who's carrying Knox, who's got an injury at this moment in time, and unfortunately can strike at any given moment. And it's annoying because obviously, Odegaard's not been at it forget this season, for the last year and a bit in it. It's been stop-start. We've seen patches. If anything, last season, the bar's on the floor, but towards the end of the campaign, he started to look like himself. Now, pre-season, it was a bit, this season so far, it's been a bit, but I think there's been an upturn in terms of how we feel about our team and what we're seeing in these last 3 games. And Odegaard was central, good little cameo against Newcastle off the bench. Obviously did well, against Olympiacos. A conversation a lot of us Arsenal fans were sitting there and saying is it going to be Eze? Is it going to be Odegaard? Arteta showed he's got tricks up in his sleeve and he's, shown us that he will do other things. We saw Eze and obviously Odegaard with Rice at the base of it. We was robbed of that because Odegaard got injured. And unfortunately, it's a new injury, isn't it? No injuries are good, but it's an ankle injury. It is what it is, man. We're just gonna have to get on. We're gonna have to get on with it. Hopefully, surely that means more opportunities for Wanyeri. In similar vein, I guess, to Kai Havertz picking up a knock, and you're seeing Gyökeres kind of start and play week in, week out, regardless of if I want to see that. That might be an opportunity presented to Eze. But again, I must admit, I'm quite tired of going through our fixture calendar list, people. But just to kind of paint a picture of, and again, people can get back fit and all those kind of things, but the games are not getting any easier. And we do sit here and say every game's a cup final, on Saturday, 5:30 under the lights away at Fulham. We obviously play Fulham away. Couple of days after that, you've got Atletico Madrid. Big game against Crystal Palace on the 26th of October. On the 29th, 3 days later, we've got Brighton in the round of 16 in the Cup. Then we travel to Burnley. Then we've got Slavia Prague. Then we've got Sunderland. And that actually takes us to the next international break. And then after, remember, they said mid-November. And I swear Noni Madueke is meant to be back around then. So that takes us to the next international break. And then obviously you hope there's no injuries, no suspensions. The less players you have to pick from, the more you're going to, quote unquote, kind of run players into the ground. Bearing in mind, Saka's even had a layoff. After the next international break, in which we need everybody fit in some capacity. North London derby against Spurs, Bayern Munich, Chelsea away, Brentford, Aston Villa, Club Brugge. Again, it's relentless until well, no, to be honest with you, from now to the end of the year is manic. January's manic as well. Like, I'm looking ahead of things, people. But even that January period, these are some nasty games. We should be filled with confidence. But they are nasty games. You got Wolves at home, then you travel to Everton, then you got Brighton in the league, then you got Villa. Another game where at the Emirates, Bournemouth away is not easy at this moment in time. Bournemouth and Crystal Palace, for me, I know Arsenal and Liverpool are above them, but I would say they're the two most informed teams. Speaking of Liverpool, who have we got on the 7th of Jan? Then you got to go Nottingham Forest. Then you've got Inter. Then you've got Man United. So there's no rest for the wicked, innit? There's no rest for the wicked. But again, if we sit here and say, we've got a good squad, again, if you was to do an A team and a B team, people would actually, assuming nobody got injured from that B team 11, they might even challenge for top 4. There's no starters necessarily. We've got a squad to compete. Now it's time to show in it, really. And you look through our squad, there's not bad players. There's players that you would sell. There's players that you might make way, like, off the top of my head. I like Kai Havertz and Merino, but depending on if you could get improvements and whatnot, obviously they'd be on the chopping block. Gabriel Jesus the same. I don't necessarily agree with this, but Martin Ødegaard, especially if Wanyeri's development goes mad, Eze's form goes mad, Dalman every minute, he's 15 right now, you blink and he's 18, he's ready. You get where I'm going. And from a financial point of view, Kai Havertz and Odegaard, you can move them on. But when you look through our squad, there's no one that I really think is bad, no one that I don't think is good enough, no one that I don't feel can play a part. So if I feel that way, whether it's Wanyeri, Eze, the opportunity to actually play Trossard in the 10, when Kai Havertz is fit, that's something that could be done. Mikel Merino doesn't, will play there, in my opinion. Mikel Arteta doesn't need to be asked twice. I trust Wanyeri and Eze to share the creative burden while Odegaard's out. To be fair, Eze's been doing it. Big up yourself, Rob, man. I appreciate you. Big up DJ and everyone. Love seeing you in Tom's chat this morning and Tom giving the show some love. Big up Tom. That's my guy, man. Big up yourself, Rob, man. Got a lot of time for Tom, like I don't really watch much football related content, but in the morning when I'm getting ready after I finish praying, typically go gym early, come back, sat down, ready to do everything. I just see what Tom's got to say in it. There might be something I've missed where Arsenal's related people, but at the same time, I think I'm like you lot. If we're not looking on phones and Twitter, we've got alerts and things like that. But shout out Tom, man. I can't imagine you're not following Tom Canton. If you're not, you know where to go, people. So yeah, man, our fixture list is mad. But again, you don't want to see this. Arsenal midfielder Odegaard out until mid-November, and time flies. Time does fly, but it does feel like we've been dealing with injuries since the start of the season. Like, off the top of my head, Hincapié has been a no-show, really and truly. Kai Havertz, Noni Madueke, Gabriel Jesus, Bukayo Saka, Martin Ødegaard. 3 injuries to his name now. 2 with his shoulder, obviously now lengthy left with his ankle. Insert any names I'm missing. I feel like White's had an injury or had some level of a knock. I feel like that. Saliba, I'm sure. Because why would big up Mascara? But why would definitely my short-term memory is crap. Mascara got a run in the team, and yeah, Saliba. If it was in an injury, forgive me. So yeah, and to be fair, we came into this season having to wrap, in my opinion, Ben White, Timber, and Gabriel Magalhaes in cotton wool, man. Which I guess the upside is when these lot are over their injuries, whether it's players that have been playing catch up for fitness, whether it's players that are missing. Cliche, it does sound like Arsene Wenger, but it is like a new signing type of thing. So I'm all for it. Norgard, another one. Again, AK-47, what a name. Big up yourself. But yeah, forgive me for forgetting about Norgard, because he is one of them that you forget. But Norgard, and we've been keeping it moving, really and truly. So we're going to have to deal with it. It's annoying, man. It's annoying. Eze going to snatch Odegaard's chain with this run he's about to go. And I hope so. I hope it's not because, I want Odegaard to come back with the bit between his teeth. One thing I wanted to see with obviously Odegaard staying fit and Eze doing his thing is if Arteta is going to use both of you in midfield and drop one of Zubimendi or Rice, great. If he's going to move one to the left, great. Obviously, depending on how he's lining up, in Zubimendi's case, at least from the start, he had to miss out against West Ham. If Eze goes out wide to accommodate both of them because their form's so mad, somebody misses out. Pressure for places. It makes everybody great. You look at it's different. Miles Lewis-Kelly ain't put a foot wrong. Neither has Calafiori. So you're going to have to take your chance when it happens, really. There has been a case at Arsenal where players have got injured, forget ability. Like for example, Bukayo Saka, obviously amazing, world-class, top class. But he might get, God forbid, but he might get injured in a period where he's not really doing the business. As soon as he's fit, he's back. Now, obviously, Saka isn't the best example, but I don't really want it to be you're back fit, you're just walking in. So if you've got one of the first team 11 shirts, hold on to it. If you're on the bench, take your chances. Because as much as it's about friends and you need to put your individual kind of stuff to the side for the collective, bro, no one should be happy about being on the bench. And if you're, I don't think there's a single player, even Kepa. Like, obviously, people are realistic, but if you're happy about being on the bench, this ain't the club for you. You need to be giving Mikel Arteta headaches all throughout the season. Those of you that didn't fly off with your country, obviously, when you're in training, give Arteta that thought. I always say, you know what, Arteta's got 3 kids. He's got the financial means, and I'm sure his wife would like to make more than 3 kids, innit? When she wants to do birds and the bees, babes, I can't. I need to get Odegaard and Marino and Kai and Gyökeres. I need to do all of this. This is what we need. It's annoying though, man, because I think Odegaard was really going to shut some people up. But Arsenal captain Martin Ødegaard is not expected to return from a knee injury until after the November international break. The midfielder suffered an MCL, otherwise known as a medial collateral ligament injury. It don't sound good, does it? In the Gunners win over West Ham on October the 4th and had to be replaced during the first half. Arsenal released a statement the day after confirming Odegaard would miss the current international window, but did not set a timeline for his recovery. Obviously, in the build-up to Fulham, Mikel Arteta is going to be asked about that. You never know with Arteta. Sometimes he plays coy, sometimes he's very specific. I don't think he's going to give much away because what can you really give away, really? But yeah, the 26-year-old is set to be unavailable until after the next set of international fixtures in the middle of November. And I hope Norway don't get any ideas about calling him up. He can do what he did this break, where he traveled with them. He's in training and he's in the changing rooms and all that stuff. But yeah, the news means Odegaard will miss Premier League games against Fulham, Palace, Burnley and Sunderland, as well as the Champions League matches against Atletico Madrid and Slavia Prague. I wonder if Mikel Arteta at some point, not saying to drop Eze or not play Ranieri or whatever, would he go with a flat midfield? Like, I don't want to see that consist of Marino, but is there, I guess what I'm saying is, if Kai's fit, does he go with Kai Havertz, Declan Rice, and Martin Zubimendi? The news will come as a blow to manager Mikel Arteta, given Odegaard's importance to his team. The start of Odegaard's season has been plagued by injury problems, with the midfielder being forced off in the first half of 3 consecutive Premier League matches. We face North London rival Spurs immediately after next month's international break. It remains to be seen whether Odegaard can recover in time for the derby on the 23rd. Norway took a significant step towards qualification for the 2026 World Cup on Saturday, beating Israel 5-0. Should they qualify for next summer's competition, it'll be their first international tournament since 2000. So, assuming Norway, obviously, you can only think about the club at the moment, but it's a big season for beyond the obvious for Odegaard, because if you get back fit, you do your bit, either, you know, as a squad player or a great player, we win stuff at club level. You then go and play in a World Cup, first time since 2000 for your country. You know, first time how old is Odegaard? 26. I'm 30, so he doesn't even. I was 5, so yeah, you definitely don't remember when Norway was there. So groundbreaking kind of stuff there. Obviously, I'm sure all the players are focused week to week, day to day on what their clubs are. But you're going to have one eye on the World Cup. Looking in our squad, Odegaard, we just made that. Martinelli and Gabriel Magalhaes with Brazil. Madueke, obviously, you know, playing well and going with England. Ranieri, I know it feels like a long shot, but you never know what a good run of games taking your opportunities can do for you. Bearing in mind, Tuchel even name dropped him. So yeah, no, not Havertz in midfield. Brother, I'm not going to lie to you. There's bare things I don't want to see. Like, if it was up to me, I don't really want to see Mikel Merino up front. I don't really want to see Kai Havertz up front or in midfield. There's so many things I don't want to see. But I recognize, and I actually think there's a method to the madness. Isolated on occasion over this 38-game period, 50-odd in all comps, you can get away. There might be times Merino might have to go up front. Kai might have to go in midfield. We're going to have to mix and blend. I always say, for this season, we've got a toolbox. All you players are tools in that toolbox. Arteta, you're the tradesman. Make it happen, man. Big up yourself, the Gooner in the building. Another one you don't need to subscribe to, man. There's not many of us balanced people out there, so go and show him some love. And as the man has said there, have we all smashed the likes? If you haven't, shame on you. But what he has reminded me to do is, for the rest of the year, we're doing family settings, man. I can't lie, man. It feels like YouTube is, pardon my language, surrounded by cunts. So, you know what? Subscriber only. If you're not part of it, you're not part of it, are you? Don't know how to help you. But yeah, Eze needs to start finishing his chance in the Prem. I can't lie, that's the one. I would extend that to Madueke and Eze. Obviously, different talking points, rate both differently. You get where I'm going. But I would say for you two are 2 attackers that at this moment in time, And I'd actually say more for Madueke because have been a breath of fresh air. It's not that Eze isn't, but we know of Eze's quality. Madueke, I personally didn't think he was as bad to warrant petitions and things, but naturally, we're trying to win leagues, 50 odd million on that. It's looking a bit mad. I think they've both been great. It's looking at Madueke, you're a breath of fresh air to Martinelli and Trossard, and you might have even made them buck up their ideas. But you're very different, apart from both having long hair and, you know, the obvious and playing for Arsenal. There's one thing I feel that both of you share in common, more so on Madueke, because you ain't scored. You got to finish your dinner. You got to finish your dinner. Madueke, beyond the obvious, that's the only thing I'll say to you. You've been a breath of fresh air. I like your decision making. I just like your playing style out wide. I see why we bought you. But if you're going to be an attacking player and you want to get to that next level and you're in the box, you need to get some goals and assists. Eze shooting boots. You're too good of a player to Pope. I can forgive you. You know, Tuchel's probably watching. He turned into prime Manuel Neuer. But Eze, there's been chances. And to be fair with you, I'd extend that to the whole collective because, you know, the whole of last season, bro, the U-shaped football was very slow. It was very stale. Couldn't really break down low blocks. I think that followed us into pre-season. I think that followed us into the early part, well, not really early part, but into this season type of thing, to the point where you're like, oh, I'll tell you, you got the tools that make it happen. I think in the last 3 games, it's above my pay grade. I ain't a coach, but you've put the players in the right decision, in the right positions. Your in-game management's been spot on. We've not lost and abandoned our defensive principles and all that kind of stuff, but you've kind of put the handbrake down and let the shackles loose in the final third, to the point where I think it's flipped in the last 3 games. It's more players. You got to finish your dinner. Like, God forbid, and like, again, we always have to aspire to want to be better. Newcastle, full of, listen, the manager, the players, you did your thing. And that is probably the result I've been, or the performance I've been the most happiest about for a bunch of reasons. But that could have went left. Cool. On the one day, you know, we didn't get the penalty. They scored. We came from behind. 9 times out of 10, it goes left. We can't control what we can't control in it. We controlled getting back in the game and all of those kind of things. So naturally in that, we could have defended better. But if you remember that first half against Newcastle, should have been 4-0 out of sight immediately. Trossard, bunch of players. And, you know, Gyökeres is a different kind of scope, but Gyökeres, Eze, Odegaard, Martinelli, Eze, Madueke, even to a degree, Saka. You lot have had chances. You're not putting them away. We need that to go to the next level. We need to kill teams. Get out of there, really and truly, if I'm completely honest, man. But yeah, man, he does. He definitely needs to finish his dinner, man. He definitely needs to finish his dinner. But I'm not being funny. This is why you signed these guys, bro. This is why you signed Eze. Imagine we never had Eze. Imagine we never had Wanyeri. And obviously, I'm trying to stay away from hyping, but like Dalman's about. I think Dalman in the short term is a right wing option, but yeah, you get the point. Eze will be a great big up Verts. What's a Verts? Thank you. Havertz and Jesus starting to train. Got to stay fit, man. But we ain't seeing. When are we seeing Gabriel Jesus? Maybe December. If we're lucky, probably January. Don't even know. I mean, if you're offered a permanent offer for Gabriel Jesus, I'd let him go because it's a chance to get peas. If you're offered a loan, I wouldn't sanction that. I would only sanction it if we're just looking at it from money. Okay, they're taking some of his wages. We're getting a loan fee, all of that. From a sporting point of view, I know not everyone can be in the 11, but let's not rewrite history. I know if everybody's fit, we could probably make a case of, well, we probably know a good portion of the players that will be in the match day squad in some capacity. You know, to be honest, if your name's not Raya, Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Julian Timber, Declan Rice, Zubimendi, Bakayo, Gyökeres, couple other names, we don't know if you're going to be in the 11. But I'll be honest, nobody can tell me that Gabriel Jesus can't be utilized this season. Because the Gabriel Jesus has been crap for a couple of years. When we played Bayern Munich, he stood up to be counted. And I said the same with Trossard. These are experienced players. So I would not be against, you know what, Gabriel Jesus, you got a year. You got, well, as in January, you've got a season, or you've got what's left of the season. You can help us. If you can do your madness in any of the 4 comps and help us, Bob's your uncle. Obviously, in the summer, you're going to be moved on. You probably will be moved on, type of thing. So I think we're going to need all these players, man. I'm not going to lie to you, look. Havertz a little bit earlier. To be fair, I don't doubt Kai. It's Jesus. It's like, nah. We'll have to see, man. I know it's an underrated opinion, DG, bro, but I would like Wanyeri to step in, use his class with Eze. It's the same thing, but I'd prefer him in the 10 or left wing. Would love your view. Wanyeri just needs exposure. Right now, it's not going to happen, innit? Unless Arteta says, do you know what? I think Wanyeri will get his time, but I do think for Wanyeri, it's either Eze is going to need a rest, his form's going to be off a cliff, or the gaffer is going to just have to say, you know what, you've got 5 games. If you play well, don't get excited. If you play rubbish, don't let your head drop. But come the end of the 5 games, we're going to see what you're on. I don't quite think he's ready to throw his hat and do the Eze one yet. Like if it was Eze and Odegaard, I think he would have ran that for a couple of games. I don't quite think the gaffer is at that stage of Eze, Wanyeri, and one of Rice or Zubimendi. I think right now it's just going to be Eze, Rice, and obviously Zubimendi. But Wanyeri's purring, man. His chances is coming. His time's coming. But you've got to take it. When it happens, take it. Take it. Don't try and force it, but take it. And at the same time, as much as I want Wanyeri to play more and all these things, and the talent's there, like I don't know what I'm getting 10 games from you, 5 games from you. So that tells me you're a rotationary option, occasional starter, and that's what I expect you to be. Like the one thing I would like to see extended to Wanyeri this year, and actually Miles Lewis-Skelly. Obviously, if you play, you play. But I do think the last couple of years, whether it was when Saka was coming up, even Martinelli, Smith Rowe, to be honest, Miles Lewis-Skelly last year, like I don't want to rely on these young players. I don't think it's fair now. Your age is irrelevant once you're on the pitch, innit? But you get where I'm going. Those ligaments will tear quickly. Let him settle in slowly. Smash the likes. Wanyeri will play our next few fixtures. We are clear favourites. Only Palace is a tough game. Eze in the 10. Hey, Jesus out. No sentiments. That's the thing. I'm not even looking at it on sentiments. I'm just looking at it as Jesus. Can you be a decent squad player? Would you be a good option off that left? If we're in the trenches of the Champions League, and I look at my bench, would I like to draw for Trossard, Gabriel Jesus, these ones? Yeah. So it's nothing to do with sentiments. It's kind of competencies. And then, like, if he goes, he goes. But I don't know if I would sanction that in Jan. Trossard, the same. Jesus is one of the more exciting players to have pulled on our shirt in the last 5 years. Hopefully, he'll overcome his injury nightmare. I hear it. But the one thing I would say, and I probably would be a hypocrite, if Jesus gets fit and he stays fit and he does pure madness, naturally, the conversation would be, oh, should we keep him? Has he earned a new deal? I could be wrong. But best case scenario, Jesus comes back. We see the Jesus we saw in the first period of his Arsenal career. He's still going in the summer. That's where I'm at personally. So yeah, smash the lights. It's interesting where Odegaard's concerned. What else have we got? I mean, is there any point of looking at this? Because we're not really going to learn anything here, realistically, are we? Until Mikel Arteta either speaks on Thursday, Friday. So yeah, we know Odegaard's out until mid-November. Don't know why it says unknown. Madueke, early November, so it's imminent. Hincapié, apparently he'll be back for the game against Fulham, which would be nice. Kai, they're saying late 2025. I mean, are we not in late 2025? That could be October, that could be December. Gabriel Jesus, late 2025, early 2026. I'm not expecting to see you before the year ends, but what do I know? Again, now's not the time for transfers, but we're linked with players. Arsenal are looking to sign Sevilla midfielder Lucien Ogame during the January transfer window. I don't believe that, if I'm completely honest with you, but nonetheless, the 23-year-old defensive midfielder has done well for Sevilla, and he was name dropped in the Athletic, so we are looking at him. And he could prove to be a useful acquisition for Arsenal. The North London outfit are looking to add more defensive depth in the middle of the park, and they believe that the 23-year-old would be the ideal acquisition. I hear it, but I'd more want an 8. And how does it all work out then? Because I don't know if we're ever going to see Miles Lewis-Skelly in midfield, but Miles Lewis-Skelly could be utilised there. Wanyeri could play deeper in midfield. Odegaard, if it could play deeper in midfield, right? Norgard, Kai Havertz, Zubimendi, Declan Rice. Feel like I'm forgetting. So Eze, if he's playing in midfield, doesn't make sense, really, does it? Don't really see that. And especially because of our spending in the summer, I don't see us doing that in January. I'd more believe if it was a youngish kind of left winger or something of that ilk. But what do I know, people? He is young enough to improve further, and he has the physical and technical attributes to thrive in the Premier League. As per Frinches, I mean, they're always tweeting nonsense and making nonsense articles. The player has a 40 million euros in brackets, 35 million pounds release clause in his contract. Arsenal have the finances to afford him. It remains to be seen whether they follow up on their interest with an official offer to get the deal done. Ogame will be attracted to the idea of joining one of the biggest clubs in the world. Arsenal have been fighting for the league title and the Champions League recently. They have an ambitious project and talented team. They'll be fighting for major trophies consistently. I would more believe it if Norgard wasn't here, because Mikel Merino's another one, because you could see like spots opening up. I can't really see it, really and truly. We've been linked with a with a 17-year-old people who can play left back as well as centre half, as has Manchester United. Mr. Tati of Nantes, people. Apparently, you know, he's been linked with us. He's a French under-21s international. He's made 6 Liga appearances so far this season, and I don't doubt it. Scouting doesn't mean we're going to buy him, but naturally, and to be fair with you, even if there's no space, owing to Berta's track record this season and just Mikel Arteta with defenders in general, I'm on it. Like, sign the Rennes lads, sign them all. If they have to go on loans, great. If they can break through, great. If the Mascara develops to another level, Gabriel keeps doing what he's doing, Saliba develops and keeps doing what he's doing, and one day, you know, Arsenal and them are going to have a divorce, then, you know, the pipeline just keeps on going, in it, really and truly. Two sources state Man United ready to bid 85 to 90 million euros. Again, this is Kenan Yildiz, who is still linked with Man United, with Arsenal, with Chelsea. He's currently at Juventus, doing quite well, the Turkish international people. Don't really think it makes sense. He's got a contract until 2029. We're not bidding no 80 to 90 million in January for him. And there's also the backdrop of he's consistently linked with signing a potential new deal at his current employers, Juventus. You feel unstoppable. Declan Rice explains how Arsenal and England are benefiting from his new role that's led to him enjoying football. In the next 48 hours, I got a video coming out with about Zubimendi, people, which indirectly kind of touches on Declan Rice's role. So make sure your notification bells are on. Been editing that all day for you lot. Smash the like button. I want to see specifically what Declan twice has said. I can play number 6 or 8. I think now I'm more of a box-to-box number 8. The manager has adjusted my position at Arsenal a bit this year, giving me a bit more freedom to drop deep, also to get into the box when I can. It's the same with Thomas. I think that really suits me on that left side of midfield. Interesting. I thought you'd prefer to play on the right. I thought Zubi could go over there. Being able to get back, being an all-action midfielder, this is what I want to be, and I'm just enjoying my football. I'm cool with that. Like, you could do a bit of everything. I don't think... In the final third, I don't think Declan Rice is great at anything, if that makes sense. I think he's very good at a lot of things. To be fair, I think you're very good from dead ball scenarios. I think you've got the capacity to score. You've got the capacity to get into the box. You're a decent passer, decent at those things. So I can see it. And obviously, in the 6th position, like, you can't really consistently thread the ball from defense into midfield. So I understand put him further up the field where when we lose the ball, we can win it higher. And he's got those legs. I think too much is done of this 8 and 6 stuff with Zubimendi. Sometimes Rice will be deeper. Sometimes Zubimendi will be further forward. We've got 2 midfielders with the capacity to contribute in multiple phases of play. So let's just harness that, man. Rice, watch as many Lampard vids as you want. I don't know how much blood we're going to draw from this stone, but I'm cool with Rice in what he does, if I'm brutally honest. And with Zubimendi, I guess Rice, I would love to speak to Declan Rice, because I would love to speak to you off camera. I would say in your heart, yeah, when you've, because I think this is the first time he's kind of had a long-term partner, give or take, there's been Partey, but I feel there must be an element when you've played with Kai Havertz, when you've played with Mikel Merino, when you've played with even Thomas Partey, and Jorginho, who's probably one of your best partners. Obviously, you got full confidence in your team and your players and all those things, but is there a mental handbrake? Because you know if you get caught further up the field, they're left on an island. I say that to say this because I feel I've seen a bit more confidence in him to do what he's doing, because he knows Zubimendi can bail him out, and vice versa, if I'm honest with you. DG, I'm seeing Arsenal fans, Igal and Souls on Famzone TV saying Rice is going to supersede Gerrard. Talk to your Regents, please. Boy, Rice or Gravenberch. Declan twice, mate. Both. Jesus, both knees knackered. It's dark, innit? If Jesus goes, who would you want something in Jan? I want something in Jan regardless. I'm greedy. I always want players. Listen, I keep saying I want a left winger. I can't tell you no names. I want a left winger. I think we're so close to having a complete squad. If it was up to me, I think there's capacity for another 8. I think there's a left winger there. I know there's certain people that can play up front, excluding Gyökeres. I think there's capacity for some rotationary striker. A couple of players might have to go, which is, you know, maybe Merino, maybe Kai, maybe Odegaard, maybe Jesus, maybe this one. Within the next 18 months to 2 years, it'd be interesting to see what this squad looks like, man. So, yeah, it'd be interesting, Eze in the 10. At this point, wherever Eze is, it is what it is. But, yeah, man, I don't think the gaffer, well, I don't think Declan Rice is lying. And big up Tommy Tuchel and obviously Arteta. I've got 2 managers who lay it out really easy with the game plan, what I have to do and where I have to be. Obviously, I'm the one that has to go and execute it. But when you have confidence in football, you feel unstoppable at times. I ended the season really strong last year, true, and probably didn't start 1 or 2 games of this season as good as I wanted. It's cool, Rice. You're a weird one. We know you're good for it, but it's like he needs to get into full flow. And once he's there, There's no stopping Declan twice, man. But we're used to it in the last 2-3 years you've been at Arsenal. Like, with first couple games of the season, you're not really there. But crunch time, you're one of the best. What a guy, man. I've picked up my form now. I feel really strong. I feel really fit, really confident in my game. And hopefully the only way is up here for England and Arsenal. 100%. And you know what? Elliot Anderson, boy, quality player. So yeah, we've gone over that. What else? We've gone over that. But yeah, Talil Tati is the 17-year-old. He's drawing interest from Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, etc. Leipzig, Barcelona, Leverkusen have all been name dropped. People can play left back as well as centre half, and even in defensive midfield. Might be one for a tactical vid. Gabriel Jesus sent transfer message as former club intensify homecoming interest. Some of you are probably, jumping for joy. Apparently, the Palmeiras club president, Leila Pereira, has urged Arsenal striker Gabriel Jesus to come home. You know what? If he wants to go, you take on some of his wages, you give us a little loan fee. Have him. Unless you want to buy him permanently, have him. Let him feel as confident as he wants. 96 games for Arsenal, 26 goals, which shows you Gabriel Jesus. It should always have been a left winger thing, man. What has he said? What has she said? Sorry. Of course, Gabriel Jesus, and I'll say more. Soon you're coming back home, Gabriel. One day you'll return. Fair enough. Home's where the heart is. He's contracted until 2027, and he's obviously, has to get back fit. And to be honest, I don't think you'd be short of loan offers, but every now and again, Gabriel Jesus is linked with permanent transfers. Stranger things have happened, and who am I? I'm just on YouTube, but think about it logically. Like somebody said, Gabriel Jesus has had 2 massive ACL injuries now, right? He's 28 years of age. Assuming he's fit in December or January, just because you're declared fit, it don't mean you're fit for 90 minutes. There's no setbacks, all of these things. Are you going to be queuing up at London Coley or dinging off Berta's phone to take him permanently before you talk about Arsenal probably want a transfer fee? And you're going to have to, even if Jesus ain't getting paid the wages he's getting at Arsenal, he's going to have to get something decent. Are you going to really want to do this in January? Or are you going to want to maybe take him on loan, but assess, okay, you're injured, you're back now. What are you looking like 5 to 10 games in which obviously January takes you over that, but you get the point. I genuinely think it's common. I ain't sold my Jesus stocks. Have you not seen the beginning of this? Don't you think it's telling hearing this now because we know Berta on business? Yeah, I know the rumors will always circle. I've got, we've all got earned faith in Berta in it because Berta's doing his thing. And to be fair with you, it's a different moment, but it's one thing having a reputation. It's another thing doing it. Like, I stopped rating people for what you've done at other clubs when Raul Sanye and Mislintat, because I never saw that correlate. So Berta started well. So I've got all the faith, but it's just rumors, man. I'm sure in the back burners, not just Arsenal, half of the signings we're going to see next summer at all the clubs, indirect talks are happening now, but I think it's too easy to say things. Zidane has picked out Kenan Yildiz as a player to keep an eye on in the future. Imagine being name dropped by Zidane, people. And again, Juventus have no plans to sell Kenan Yildiz amid reported transfer interest from Arsenal and Chelsea. So got to take it with a pinch of salt. TBR Football understands Real Madrid have been aware of Arsenal starlet Max Dalma since 2022. And apparently they sent scouts to watch him for England. I mean, scouts are scouting everyone. You're not going to get him anytime soon. Maybe when he develops and wins a bunch of stuff at Arsenal. Mark Clattenburg has shared a theory on why Gyökeres is struggling with Premier League refs. Wears a red shirt. What more do you need? What have you said, Clattenburg? From my experience and watching since I've retired, big players do not get ref differently. Of course, it's natural for the big name players to be tactically marked, which could create physical duels, which the referee will have to deal with. The Premier League has always been a physical league compared to other leagues around the world, and referees allow more physical contact. Do they? It depends what time of the day they wake up, which players have to learn very quickly and adapt. Okay, so you've just confirmed you're not watching Gyökeres at all, because I'm not even, you've confirmed, because Gyökeres is just being fouled, bro, at times. I don't know what all that's about. What's this? Yeah, that was here. The Arsenal game was suspended for 10 minutes as a Brighton star collapsed and needed oxygen. Thank the Lord she's all right. It feels like we're missing something around Mascara, but we'll get there, people. Again, this is said Arsenal ready to sell Gabriel Jesus actually in January. Again, the rumours. Rumours are one thing. Arsenal they're probably braced to sell him in the summer of 2026. Probably been open to offers for the last 2 years. Obviously, he's definitely behind Gyökeres and Kai Havertz in the pecking order. He's contracted until 2027. He's 28 and he's on big money. According to the report, Arsenal will be taking a conservative approach to the winter transfer window following their 250 million spend in the summer. That record-breaking spending saw 8 new faces, blah, 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 giving Arteta unprecedented squad depth, but it also left the club with a bloated wage bill and little room for manoeuvre under FFP regulations and PSR. The Gunners are believed to be focusing on consolidating, trimming where possible, and making full use of the talent they already have. Nelson, Kivio, and Lokonga were all moved out over the summer to ease congestion. It's true. And we know Kivio's loans are a bit different, but so he'll be a permanent Porto player. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Is Lokonga actually permanently gone or is he on loan? Or the big Nelson ain't gone, and 1 minute you're in the Brentford squad, then you're not. But you have to earn your money in that one, man. I don't know. But Jesus' potential departure would be by far the biggest name to go. Selling him could also generate crucial funds to reinvest in the summer plans. Even as we know we signed that guy from Shamrock Rovers. So yeah, and we know we've got Fulham next, people. So it is what it is in that regards. What's this? Oh, I've already read that. We read that last night, didn't we, folks? And we went over this last night. We went through a lot of things last night. Make sure you check out that live stream. Don't appear that there's anything new here. Kid and Yildiz is reportedly expected to snub interest from Arsenal, Chelsea, and United in favour of signing a new long-term deal at Juventus. We know this. Arteta has been questioned for signing a player who doesn't fit Arsenal signing. Agents question Ødegaard signing. Another selected Ødegaard's transfer fee is the most surprising. Transfer is the most surprising because of the agent profile. Yeah, but the club pivoted quickly for Partey, and let's be honest, like clearly there's an element of, in my opinion, we don't know how it's going to work, but seeing how Wanyeri and Miles Lewis-Skelly develop, and obviously Max Dowman, and obviously Eze, assessing the market. And to be fair, what other player, I don't agree with this, but what other player you're going to get like Ødegaard, who's gone from playing week in, week out for Brentford, that obviously wants to play week in, week out for Arsenal, but knows, it's a bench thing. And he's already talking about what he's going to do in the next year or two as well and return to his homeland. So I think that's a bit harsh. And yeah, he hasn't hidden that he wants to go to Denmark. He's actually said, I guarantee that Arsenal will be my last club abroad. I still want to return to Brøndby when my contract at Arsenal expires. My contract is 2 years with the option of a further year. To be fair, financial security, though, at 31, 2 years with an option of a third, you're all right in that regard. Real Madrid and Arsenal among clubs interested in Nathaniel Brown. Nathaniel Brown has shot to stardom after a breakout 2024-25 campaign for Eintracht Frankfurt. The 22-year-old defender made his German national team debut against Luxembourg on Friday night. And now Brown is attracting interest from Europe's biggest clubs after rejecting a move to Italian giants Milan in the summer. Blind now report that Real Madrid, Arsenal, and Manchester City are among the clubs interested in signing the youngster. However, Blind note that a departure from Frankfurt won't happen until next summer at the earliest. Brown signed a contract extension in February that ties him to the club until 2030 with no exit clause. That means that the Hausen club are free to command a significant fee for the left back. And as history has shown, clubs, bosses negotiate extremely hard. Eintracht Frankfurt spent a total of 16.5 million euros to sign Hugo Ekitike, Mawani, and Marmoush, selling the trio for a combined 265 million euros. Not saying we need to do that, but we need to start doing that kind of stuff. Speaking of strikers, people, I did mention Gyökeres. He was presented with his 2024-25 Nations League Golden Boot, got 15 goals. So yeah, he's got a lot of individual awards. Gyökeres, sort your decision making out. Arteta more clear-cut chances, and who knows, that could be the Golden Boot for the Premier League. Looks a bit different, and you do have Haaland there, but yeah. Did I not speak about this, people? Naturally, common sense. I don't know if Colombia have qualified for the World Cup, and that needs to stop, yeah. And you never know what a good run in the side for a team like Arsenal could do, but you've got the World Cup to come. You're Spanish youth international, lived in Spain, born in Spain, Colombian parents. Obviously, if you're Colombian, what are you going to do? You're going to ask Scaro, do you want to play for us? You might even get on the phone to his dad. I don't know, people. He could be set for a switch. I don't know if he's going to do that, innit, people. It depends what he wants to do. He holds dual citizenship for both countries. He joined us for 13 million last season. He was born in Spain to Colombian parents. So he's drawing interest from Colombia. It's completely off topic, people. But apparently Ghana Eddie Nketiah wants to represent Ghana. So yeah, we'll have to see, man. No, give Jesus until next summer. He'll be excellent playing with Gyökeres. I just think it's a good left wing option. And to be honest with you, who is the left winger? Like, there's a bunch of guys that can do it, but who is the outstanding choice. If I ask 10 of you and I give you lot all options, some of you might say Martinelli, some of you lot might say Trossard, some of you might say if Gabriel Jesus shows some fitness, it might be him. Some of you might say Madueke. Some people might say move Saka over there, which I'd rather him play on the right, even though in game I'd want that. I think we missed the trick not signing a left winger, you know, for all the Rodrigo stuff and Semenyo, who I think's up for PFA Player of the Month, people. It's interesting. I think that's what we need, people. So yeah, man, that's where Mascara is concerned. I did mention Semenyo, bang on the money. Recognition for the Cherries, Ghanaian sensation Semenyo. Semenyo is your PFA Premier League Fans Player of the Month for September. Don't worry, you'll be playing for Arsenal soon. Soon enough, man. Berta's got something. Apparently, Real Madrid have been told they made a huge mistake not signing Zubimendi. Spanish journalist has said, I think that piece in Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid would be fundamental today. It's a huge mistake that Real Madrid didn't sign Zubimendi for 60 million after spending 120 million on Camavinga and Tchouaméni. And he did reject Liverpool, people. He said, on rejecting Liverpool for Arsenal, he said, it wasn't the right moment to go. I stayed and it was a hard season, but I learned a lot. I wanted to step forward, take that weight after others went. I've always tried to choose the right time, and I'm happy with how it ended. I'd watched Arsenal, and I liked everything I saw in terms of passion, youth, the feeling you got watching them. And when Mikel Arteta called me, well, if you've ever spoken to him, you'll know that he can be very convincing. He's mad about football, crazy about everything under control, trying to get something from every little detail. He's very clear on everything, and the proposal he had was the best for me. So welcome to the gang, man. Jack Wilshere has revealed he spoke to Mikel Arteta about taking the Luton job, and it's a full circle moment, as he said, because he was obviously spent time at Luton's youth academy before rocking up at Hale End. What has he said? I spoke to Mikel and asked when he knew he was ready. He laughed and said, you just have to jump and swim as hard as you can. To be fair, you ever ready for anything in life? He's obviously done that really well at Arsenal. I was close to that. This feels a little bit similar. Look at my granddad Wenger with his disciples, man. You know what? Blink just before. You know what? Time flies, bro. Who knows? At some point, Max Dowman, Bukayo Saka, Wanyeri, Miles Lewis-Skelly, these lot are going to be coaches. Time flies. We all remember the game against Barcelona, the fresh-faced Jack Wilshere. This is crazy. He's only 2 years older than me, to be fair. Of course, it's a different level, but when Mikel went in, it wasn't a nice place at Arsenal. The fans weren't sure what's happening. He built complete unity and trust in what he's doing. Because I played with him, number one, and a lot of players who played with him say they knew he was going to be a coach. Theo said the same, and I was exactly the same. Then he invited me back when I was struggling to find a club and said I was part of it, and he made me feel part of it. So honestly, what he's done for the club, I'm so happy for him, so happy for the staff. I want to give the Luton fans a team they can be proud of and work to do that starts today. I mean, they had back-to-back relegation, so there's no bedding in period, no honeymoon period. Respectfully to Jack Wilshere, I don't think any of the Luton faithful gives a monkeys about anything you've done as a footballer or not done. It's, are you going to help us get back in, climb back up the football ladder or not? Hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss streams or upload. Arsenal and Arteta pool combined is unbeatable. Hey, man, let's win some trophies and then we can see what you did. What would you do with Jesus, DG? You got, I don't know how many months. What would it be? 6 months in January? You got to the end of the season. But if Jesus says he wants to go, you're allowed to go. If Berta said, listen, we need to get some peas in, I hear it. I would want to keep Jesus because I know the games are coming thick and fast. And I know if we're in the trend, if we're in quarters and semi-finals of the Champions League, I think I'm looking at the Yokerezes, the Ezes, the Jesuses, the Trossards, them kind of players, the experienced ones. I don't want to look around for Wanyeri and Dowman and pick them up, but you get the point. These are decent players, but I've seen Jesus play left back and have a great game, man of the match at the Bernabeu. Like, there's things that can happen. Big up, love Arsenal, hate the ops. I'm a full-time father to 6 kids, bro. Pull out games. What are you kidding about? We got the 6 kids. I'm smashing the likes. What's your excuse? Come on, people. Concentrate. Facts. Hyper. Appreciate you. So, yeah. I never sold Gabriel Jesus stocks, though, man. It's just, you got to be realistic, isn't it? Like, there's a use for you here. There is. Zubimendi said no to a trophy. When we win the, you know what? Humble. You almost bit the bait. Stay humble. You almost got me still. Availability is the best ability, unfortunately, for Jesus. Exactly. You're not reliable, isn't it? Like, you're not reliable, and it is jarring. That's why your days are numbered. I'm simply saying for what you can participate of this season, if we have the best thing since sliced bread, you get back fit, stay fit, help us off the bench or get starts and we win a Prem or a Champs, great stuff. And then you still got to go. And I admit I'm a hypocrite. If Jesus' form's out of this world, we will sit there and say, oh, you know what, does he get a new deal? Because, you know, from the summer, he'll have a year left on his deal from next summer. But I don't even want that. I know what DG's saying, though, late stage of the champ. I mean, quarters, semis this year, there's been an upward trajectory. That's what we should be aiming for the quarters and semis as a minimum. Get out the league phase, play it by ear. Hope we can do a thing in it. Naturally, I think teams want to avoid us, and naturally, we know the teams we want to avoid, but just need to do what needs to be done. Another proper Arsenal-related news roundup as usual. DG doesn't play when it comes to news prep. Far too kind, man. Trying to have the best for you lot. 21. Listen, Liverpool are the favourites. You lot spent all that money on, what's his name? I ain't seen him play, Isaac. I haven't seen him play since, ironically, against Liverpool at Wembley. Has he played? I was hearing all this stuff about Wirtz. He must be AI. I haven't seen him play in the Prem. I ain't seen him do anything. You know, I know about my German midfielder, Kai Havertz, standing up to be Kai. I don't know what Wirtz is. I don't know if Frimpong's a fullback. He's shitter defensively than me. Make sure you win that. Make sure you retain that. Going on a mad run doesn't patch over the lack of games for me. What are you referring to directly? Big up, DG. Haven't been here since the break started. Good to be back. Isaac clear over Gyökeres? Yeah, Isaac is clear over Gyökeres. He's better striker than him, but that's why you must win the league. British transfer record made him kick up all that fuss. Gyökeres, hey, little old Gyökeres, big game bully over there in Portugal. I think every team in the Premier League's been destroyed by Isaac. Isaac's one of the strikers that has stressed out my centre halves. We need to see it. He has to get 1 million goals. Jesus in and out. Oh, I hear that. No, he still needs to go. There's no time for sentiment. We need to, we can't bet on you. And unfortunately for Jesus, like, I don't want to say you don't want to get back to your best, but bro, 2 ACLs, dark. Like, big him up for actually not losing the plot and getting back fit, but bloody hell. And that, you know what, yeah, obviously we've been there, done it with Jesus, but I think the saddest thing with Gabriel Jesus' story at Arsenal is what kicked off this whole injury thing. You was at my club, but you was playing for Brazil. I remember doing a watch along. Like, we all knew it was dark. And then last year, like, obviously by then, no one ain't looking at Gabriel Jesus to be amazing and be a star, but you're back fit. You've got qualities that can help us. I'm sure around the time you got injured, you were starting to get some minutes. I'm sure you bagged a goal or two against Palace. And then, you know, they're trying to help us out defensively against Man United in the FA Cup, which was disappointing because we went out. You saw it, and here we are now. Time flies. Here we are now. Who was always injury prone? You know what the saddest thing, Sugar, is? We should just be talking, like, obviously, like, I wish there was no injuries. We should just be talking about two things. In an ideal world, which I was so against, you can, if you care enough, you can go all the way back. I said, I'm happy with the Gabriel Jesus signing. And I understand the premise of, oh, you know what, good player, make him the main number 9, opportunities through the middle, he might score. I said, no, it's not going to bang. It's not. I think strikers are born. He's not got that. Can you score more? Can you be more clinical? Can you work on training? Great. But he hasn't got that blood. We should have just bought Gabriel Jesus to be a good squad player, wide area, attacking option. What City did with him, innit? Kind of thing. So it was. But then with 2 ACLs, I've never, unheard of at City, innit? Unheard of. Like, here he's got 2 ACLs. It's a shame with Gabriel Jesus because he's such a player. But, bro, for me, Gabriel Jesus is a winger thing, man. You could do a job on the right. I actually want to see you left wing. I want to see I'm not saying I want to see it on a consistent basis, but I would be intrigued to see Gyökeres up front, Saka on the right, Jesus on the left, Eze regulating, or even Eze and Odegaard. Fuck it. Rice or Zubimendi, Mikel Arteta, take your pick, whichever one of them can start and keep it moving. In the same way, I want to see a bit of what Wenger used to do, just cram all the creative players on. Don't care how you do it. I know it's a bit dumb, but I do want to see. I want to see all the Highlanders start together, but I want to see like a Zubimendi, an Eze, a Wanyeri, a Max Dowman, or you've got Odegaard, Eze, Wanyeri. You can play out wide, bro. Just Wenger settings. Just do that. Saka go on the left for a sec. Let's see something, man. He's still got double digits in the Prem first season with 3 months injured. That's what sucks, bro. The first, would it be fair to say 6 months for Jesus? First 6 months. Quality, man. Quality. And I do want to see it because remember Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus on that left? I think him and Gyökeres, they can make something happen. And Eze's getting a relationship with Gyökeres. Actually, Martin Ødegaard seemed to be one of the only players, excluding Eze, that was trying to find, maybe it was the, you know, battle of the blondies linking up. Like, Ødegaard's trying to find him. It's a shame, man, but I have to get on with it. And at the end of the day, like somebody said, availability is the best trait you can have. And if I'm looking at it, boy, you're on, no, listen, I don't have 200 or grand a week to pay him, but you're on that. Arsenal spent X, Y, and Z. I'm sure Jesus is even thinking about cutting as well, whether that's to go back to his homeland, to find something in Europe. It'd be interesting because I think them kind of things is where Berta's got to earn his money, if I'm honest. Now, I'm not expecting Berta to turn around and get us 35, 40 million for Gabriel Jesus, but you're going to have to get something in it, or we're going to keep doing the whole shot in for pennies. Jesus took us from a banter club to a contender in one summer. Not a bad word to say about him. Would love to see him lifting the big one at the end of the season. Facts. It's just unfortunate, man. We ain't got time for sentiment. But as I said, for me, I personally think there's a role for Gabriel Jesus for at least a year, man. I think for what's left of this season, you can help us. You know, well, you can't really say players are unsellable in it because everyone's got a price, but we all know the players that we're not letting go. Like me, Miles, at least for now, Lewis Skelly, Raya, Magalhaes, Saliba, Timber, Rice, like we'll be here all day in it. You know the players we don't want to go in it. And there are some players that are available, like if I was Arteta, maybe not so much now because the season kicked off. I'm not like you offer me something for Trossard. Conversations, Trossard, conversation, Havertz, Marino, conversations, Martinelli, conversations. Jesus, if I haven't made that clear, conversations. But at least for this year, again, this is the toolbox. All these players are tools. I think you all got a role to play. Because I have listen, we need to win silverware. And I don't want to say it on YouTube, but boy, like, who said I have to settle for just one piece of silverware? Well, we need a squad. It could be 2. It could be 3. But what is the defined trophy, though? I have to balance it out with PR. And we're going to need everyone to do that, man. I want Tross and Jesus to win the league, then they can dip. Otherwise, they wasted their prime. I hear it, man. The hunger in Jesus, bring him injuries. Boy loves football. He tries so hard to prove after recovery. It's a shame, man. And injuries can happen. Like, sometimes it might just be one of those things, man, because, you know, when Jesus woke up to play for Brazil, when that first one happened, it's a reality of footballers, but boy, like, it is what it is. Against Man United, the saddest thing is that injury was caused because of what Gabriel Jesus does. The he might not score goals, but the man will fight to the end. He'll put in a defensive shift, obviously high technical quality. He's trying to defend. And then obviously, I guess his cleats have been caught in the grass, knees twisted, the writing's on the wall, then, innit? It's a shame, man, because obviously not everyone can come on the journey, but genuinely, if we won the Premier League this year or the champs or something, I would think Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, Kieran Tierney, Tommy Asu, Aaron Ramsdale, couple players that were part of this, but you're not part of it now type of thing. Put him in the shop window, rest of the window, and we'll see how good Berta is at selling in the summer. He's got to put himself in the shop window, though, man. The first thing is just fitness, and even that, it's a long way. Like, when is the minutes going to come? Because you'd imagine he'd play some minutes for the under-21s, and then, you know, you're going to be on the bench here and there. Unfortunately, when you've been out for that long, it's not just, you know, not that you're going to suffer, God forbid, another ACL or whatever, but you don't know this yourself. When you've been out for a while with an ACL, you come back, you've got a hamstring injury, minor little thigh strain, all these little niggle injuries. So it's going to be a long road, man. For Jesus, I'd love to see it as well, because I'd love for you to play at the World Cup. Like, realistically, at 28, you never know. But this is probably your last hoorah, Gabriel Jesus. You never know. You're still young to still be involved, but it's probably your last hoorah, man. Feel bad for Zini and Jorginho. I wouldn't say I feel bad. I feel more bad for Jorginho than Zini. Saka to win the league and the World Cup. Fingers, toes, everything in between. Cross my boy. But, boy, if it came to it, I'd rather Arsenal just do what we need to do first, innit? We get our trophy, then it is what it is. I'd love to see an Arsenal lad win the World Cup, though, man. Naturally, like, between Zubimendi, Declan Rice, Gabriel Magalhaes, Reece Nelson, are you eligible for Jamaica? Because we might qualify, and I think we got a bigger chance than anyone. Like, we're the best team in the world, mate. Like, don't mention the last run of fixtures, but it's all right. Yeah, I'd rather that the French boys, Saliba and that. So, yeah. It'd be nice, man, but easier said than done, man. Easier said than done. With that being said, though, man, I'm sure you lot are bored of hearing my voice now. So, yeah, I thought let me go live, entertain you lot, and then we're here. Tomorrow, I'll be back at some point. Make sure your notification bells are on. But in the next 48 hours, there's a video around Zubimendi coming out. I'm actually going now to create more edited videos for you. The grind don't stop, people. So yeah, on that note, most importantly, thank you for watching, for participating, for you lot watching it on the replay. DG Nation, I love you lot, man. And it's frustrating talking about football on YouTube. So this is why we're building a tribe here. So yeah, on that note, you lot stay safe, stay blessed. We'll link up again soon, man, in a bit.
Like